Welcome to Hort Culture, where a group of extension professionals and plant people talk about the business, production, and joy of planting seeds and helping them grow. Join us as we explore the culture of horticulture.
Hi, friends. How's everybody doing? Is everybody hydrated? Because I feel like, I don't know, we're at the time of the year where everything's dry, and I feel dry, like in general.
It is cold and feels like it's getting colder. And as of recording today, there's a few inches of snow. Don't be jealous, you guys. I know not everybody on the podcast today has snow, not even the co-host, but yeah, it's colder and snowy. And it's today. Did I miss it? Did I hear somebody say today's the first day of meteorological winter? Is that correct or no?
I don't know.
I haven't fact checked that, but it's early in the winter. It's just now December, and we have our first legit snow. So I say
what is
good start.
meteorological winter means? Like this is when we're expecting
Like
winter weather.
Officially winter. I guess it's. I don't know what
temp-wise winter versus
Not by the
like
movement
where
of
the
they
sun
up
is.
in temps. I think I don't know what like factors go into that, but I always think of winter as whenever it gets cold. But apparently, I'm incorrect. It is a specific date when winter begins. So somebody will have to look that up and send that.
Someone's screaming at us as they listen to it. They're like, "It's
yeah."
This is my first day doing a podcast since we got our internet speed updated, and so I'm gonna pull up a separate tab. I'm gonna flex on everybody here and pull up a separate tab and look up what the heck winter. Meteorological.
Please do, Brett.
I was going to say, you look so clear in your photo today.
Yeah.
Thank you. Part of that's the camera. Part of that's
his exfoliating routine.
Yeah, my skincare routine.
Combating the dryness.
He's drinking lots of water so that his skin is not dry in the winter.
Yeah, so it's based on the temperature cycle. Typically December, January, and February in the Northern Hemisphere. This as opposed to the, I guess you would say the astronomical defined
like winter solstice.
So it's more temperature based than meteorological.
Correct.
Gotcha. When's the first day? Did you find that anywhere?
I think it is temperature and meteorology in general as opposed to day length. Gotcha. Different from astronomical winter based on the solstice and equinox. Has variable end and start dates. I think it's literally the months of December, January, and February. It looks like 91 days.
Basically, if you feel sad because of the outside, it's probably winter.
What if I feel sad because of the inside?
Sad on the inside and the outside.
Winter is always for some people.
Winter is for sadness. Yes. So now you know, folks. Now you know. Good information, Brett.
So did you all? I'm curious. We were talking a little bit about elves on shelves and about advent calendars and that kind of thing. Did you all, when you were either kids or adults or at any point in between, can you think of like unique holiday winter time traditions or things that come to mind that you did or that you looked forward to?
I thought you were going to ask about cool advent calendars at first, because I was instantly going to be like,
gonna lock in.
Last year, I did the best Christmas present ever, and I got Alexis a cheese advent calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So cheesy in a good way.
They were individually wrapped, right, for each day, like a little cube of a different one. And I called it, I would take it on the go when I was driving to work or whatever. And so I had my pocket cheese. And I was like, "Oh, today's pocket cheese, Jessica, is a
we had one that we'd open at the same time, and so then we would discuss each day's pocket cheese. It was the gift that kept on giving all holiday season.
Every cheese is a soft cheese if you hold it long enough in your pocket, I guess. I mean, I never thought about that. There's no such thing as hard cheeses. When they've been in your pocket for 4 hours, there's no hard cheeses. I guess they're malleable
to take the edge off.
Yeah, the low input fondue.
So you're saying your favorite winter tradition is cheese? It sounds like, which I could totally get on board with.
My favorite everyday tradition is cheese, so that's probably
everyday
not fair.
Tradition. I like that.
Mine
traditions, huh?
Yeah, I always remember. I'm not sure if it was like an every year thing, but it's like fondly remembered of when I was real young and would go to my grandma's house. She would make sauce, like pasta, like homemade spaghetti sauce or whatever over Christmas break. And so then we'd have it. And so that's one of the things I like to do now is make sauce while I'm on break. And then we just eat sauce with all the meals.
Just like big batch meals kind of thing.
Does your salad not have pasta sauce on it? It does now.
Oh yeah, I don't care if you don't like pasta sauce on your lettuce. Yeah. You're gonna get pasta sauce on your lettuce.
Yeah, you're getting pasta sauce. So
anybody I like thirsty? I'm making margaritas.
Yeah, double the margaritas.
It's
absolutely
basil-y.
Nice and spicy. Why is it so spicy?
I mean, a Bloody Mary, right? It's basically just a Bloody Mary mix. You just add some alcohol of choice.
You're just helping it along.
You're just giving it a life boost. That's right. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I used to love, the smell of the barns in the wintertime. We had old dairy barns that had been converted to just like, regular cattle barns, and we had feed bunks and stuff set up. And I would love the smell of hay in the wintertime, and the smell of the barn. It was closer. The smell was, I guess. But that's something I always thought of in the wintertime. It kind of marked the seasons was, I love barns any which way, but the way the barns kind of changed through time and the way the hayloft smelled. And it was just kind of a different kind of vibe. In the summer, you have a high summer smell of hay. And in the wintertime, you had a kind of a barn smell of hay. I can't describe the difference, but it was definitely a thing.
Piggybacking on, go ahead.
Just in case you have anybody's watching on the podcast, watching video, Ray's magical cat just walked on thin air behind him.
Floated straight across. Yes, I'm not on my normal recording area.
If ever I've heard a reason to watch this on YouTube instead of just listening, that would be the reason.
And she is trying her best to climb on top of my laptop at the moment because I'm in her space now. So yeah, I'm desperately trying to push her. I know it is generating heat, but yeah, that's a winter thing. I don't know.
Can you describe the smell? Can you paint me a picture?
It was the smell is a bit more musty, but not in a bad way. And I don't know, I guess it's the difference between like a summer hay, which it's got all that heat in it and it's got more of a fresh smell. In the wintertime, more of a fermented smell. And it's also the smell of tobacco because we had, tobacco in one section of the barn. But the smell of tobacco blended in with the hay is one of my favorite smells. And a couple of our barns, it was all kind of together in sections of the barn, the bigger barns, is that tobacco smell blended in with hay in the winter. Yeah, I love that. Did you guys have a similar situation, Jessica?
Yeah, two things I thought of was one, when you said about the barns, we were always stripping tobacco this time of year. So like that memory with the farm. And then one that I'm getting now to like recreate with my kids is I come from a family of Lexington firefighters, and every year there's the firefighter Christmas party where you go and meet Santa. And they had the cakewalk. I remember one year they had Plinko, which was like a big deal for me to get to play Plinko at the little festival that they had.
Yeah.
But you would wait for your number to be called and you get to go into this little room and Santa would be there and meet Santa at the fire station. And then you'd always get like your bag of treats that had a candy cane and an orange in it with some other like random stuff. And so my kids have now got to experience that because they still do that at the fire department training center each year.
Please tell me that there was nuts in there with like the fruit and a candy cane, like mixed nuts. I remember bags that we would get like similar to what you just described, but they'd always have some Brazil nuts or some cashews or a walnut or two. But yeah, good stuff.
What about you, Brett?
Well, aside from just, people having emotional meltdowns, that's sort of a family tradition.
Solid.
Leading up to the holidays.
That also happens.
Winter depression.
Yes.
The closeness of the relationships grows closer in the winter.
Melded together as if by a fission reaction.
Close proximity.
I can remember, so this past, we're just coming off Thanksgiving recently. And, I think it's pretty typical for a lot of people to do their Thanksgiving or their Christmas decorating after Thanksgiving or the day of Thanksgiving or whatever. And so we did that. We got out all the decorations at my mom's house and put those up at, all the lights on the outside and all the things. There were meltdowns. So that traditional box was checked. But I remember when I was a kid that my dad would get up on the roof to put the lights on, and we were at some point allowed, in that middle period where we could reliably not jump off, but were malleable enough that if we did fall, we would sort of bounce and cartilage could reform or whatever. But we put up the lights this time, and I'm just realizing, so that was a good memory of that tradition, but I just realized there was absolutely zero reason to get on the roof to do any of that. I think my dad was just like, yeah, let's get up on the roof. Like, why
Up on the
not?
rooftop. Yeah.
Like, when else are we going to do this?
Let's see what we can see, right? Let's get up there.
Let's see from this 1-story ranch in flat as a pancake J-Town. And so my brother and I put up the lights entirely from ladders pretty quickly, and I remember it being like an hours long ordeal of getting up on the roof and leaning anyway. But so that's something that comes to mind it's not really I guess it's a tradition. But a lot of memories came back the other day from that conversation with, is his name Jim, the guy at the Christmas tree farm that we talked with a couple episodes ago? John. Sorry, John. A lot of memories came back from that as well, of the lead up to the holidays of going and cutting trees, and we talked in that episode. If you haven't checked it out, it's a good one.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. That was a great one. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, but we're starting to think about the season of gift giving and gift receiving, and what are we going to talk about with that? We have some people that like gifts.
I mean,
gifts, getting gifts, treating ourselves to gifts, whatever you're into.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
buying something from somebody else and then just using it yourself, that kind of gift.
Yeah. I'm not, I recognize I'm easy to buy for, but I just want like gift cards for plants. I just want to go buy a tree. So, because I buy myself whatever I want now. So if I want it and I need it, I buy it. I want it, I got it.
Sometimes, Alexis, you're such a good gift giver, you end up getting it for yourself as you're getting for others.
Listen, if I need it, I need it.
This is
right?
great, yeah.
So just buy me a tree. That's what I say. But there's some cool things I have seen. I don't own this yet. It is in my cart. But we talked about houseplants recently. A lot of us have brought them in. A lot of us are probably panicking about, oh man, the summer version of me that had plants outside and bought lots of plants because they were pretty or on sale, or I have tons of room for them. And then you have to bring everything in, and then suddenly you don't have a ton of room for them, or you're like, oh, I have to water all of these throughout the winter. That may be a realization that you're coming to. So I have
brought my houseplants in before all this snow?
Yes, they're all dead now.
Uh-oh.
They're insulated by the snow, Brett. No worries.
Perfect.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not a true statement.
Bray's like, no, that's a joke.
I say that in jest.
Well, one thing that if you are that person, or a person who has a lot of houseplants, that they're hand watering, is using a portable camping shower little pump that you can just like charge, and you use it in like a 5-gallon bucket. So you can put the 5-gallon bucket on one of those rolling like little plant cart type things, like the little round ones you'd put a pot on that have wheels. You can
it's
put
almost
a 5-gallon.
Like I'm saying a plant IV. It's like a plant IV. That's what's in my head right now. You've described.
Yeah, it kind of does look like that. So you put your 5-gallon bucket on your little rolling thing if you want. If you don't want to carry it because it's heavy and I slosh water everywhere. And then you get a lid for it if you're smart. I probably won't because I'll be too excited. And you drill a little hole through it, and you can run your little shower hose, right? Because it's a portable camping shower or whatever, but it's a little small thing. And then you can wheel that around, and it's a little battery powered pump that you can recharge. And then you can just give each of your plants a little shower. And you've got this,
giant watering can that you could not
like a giant watering can that you give them a nice little shower, and you can just wheel it around. And I'm like, this
I really like that. That's genius.
That's a good idea.
This is genius.
It's kind of a garden hack. Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, I didn't come up with it. I saw it on a plant person I follow on Instagram, and I was like, this is genius. It's like a $36, the specific one they mentioned, is like $36. I'm sure there are cheaper ones, but that's the one. And then you buy a 5-gallon bucket and a lid, and then you just boom, done. You can charge it with a little USB. So smart. And then I guess, you could use it for an outdoor shower if you wanted. I don't know.
So back when there's several years in a row, our neighborhood is at the point where there are a lot of the silver maples and some of the other trees that haven't been well maintained are at the end of their lifespan. And so when we had windstorms there for a while, it would take down a lot of trees. And so there was like several days over the last few years where we had no power for like 4 or 5 days in a row. Mm-hmm. And, we're accustomed to a certain level of lifestyle.
Cleanliness.
It includes hot water. And, the thing only lasts for a little while. And so one of the things that I did reminds me of this. I heated up water on a like propane burner outside in a canning vessel. Mm-hmm. I dumped it into a cooler. I then moved the cooler into the house, and I had a transfer pump for emptying water heaters and otherwise moving, and hooked that up to a hose, and we were able to have hot water showers for the 2 or 3 days. It was so that period was so awesome because it was just like so simple. You get up, like nothing, no one was asking for anything. It was like early COVID days almost of just like. But it reminds me of that, and I'm like, gosh, why didn't I think of turning that into a watering thing? Because that sounds so useful. So this is something you don't have to like come up with this. You buy this as a unit.
Yeah, you buy your 5-gallon bucket separately, or if you have one with the lid, and then you
craft one,
whatever size bucket you want to use. The 5-gallon bucket, if you have a lot of plants, is probably the best. 25 gallons, and then the pump and the shower head all come as one piece, and they detach, so you can run the hose through the lid.
That is so smart.
Yeah, it's all. I know. I was like, this is genius. This changes everything.
I am now imagining you with like a 55-gallon drum full of water, and you're just like,
well, okay. So you say that, and I was thinking, okay, I have these rain barrels outside.
I know.
I imagine you with like a little backpack going around.
Well, I was thinking
imagine
backpack.
with me.
Yeah, but like a backpack sprayer mister thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But this thing is more like a nice shower, like you like to have.
You got the inside track on an engineer. He could make you one of those like a little cart that you sit on, and it has a 55-gallon drum, and you drive it around.
I'm thinking of a tiny train, like a holiday train.
Overestimate the size of my house is the only thing. Remember, this is indoor. This is an indoor.
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden it's like Scary Town, like Richard Scary, like
my house with that.
Busy Town. It's a little busy.
Maybe
town.
Like a Segway style thing where you're like leaning.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. Is there a name for this, or is it available in different formats?
A name I have not like
the Alexis water
whole unit. I have not seen a name, but what you're looking for is a portable camping shower pump. So
I like it.
You Google that, pull one of those up, little, battery rechargeable little pump, and you can.
That's going to be really hard to top.
Yeah,
that's why I went first.
I need it. It sounds useful.
I'm sending everybody.
We're going to sign off the podcast now, and I'll go order one.
Yeah, we're like we may have to hack. We'll
be dropping the link in the chat. Yeah, I'll send you all the video that I saw where I was like, this is genius. So anyways,
so last year, this isn't an example for this year, but last year I asked my mom was like, what do you want, and so with bonsai, when trees are in development, you use a lot of different media, perlite and cocoa coir and stuff. And I ordered large, like 10-kilo bricks of cocoa coir. I didn't order them. I told her that's what I wanted, and she ordered those, and then brought out that's what she wrapped up and gave me for Christmas last year. And thought I was, she already thinks I'm a very strange person, but that was another level of a dehydrated, ultra dense brick of cocoa coir.
Here's your coconut fiber bread.
And
thanks, Mom.
This is why we're all friends, because
last year, pretty awesome gift, though. I mean,
I got 2 water hoses for Christmas last year, and I was ecstatic. I've said, I can't be stopped this summer now. I have water hoses that will reach completely around my house. And I was very excited to receive 2 separate water hoses for Christmas.
Did you get a hose reel with those, or is that like this year's gift? Like something to put the hoses on,
Uh,
or
I usually just, kind of throw them over in the corner.
yeah, gotcha. Kind of loop them the old school style, just loop
Yeah,
them up. Yeah,
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Okay,
And then
so
oh, go ahead, Brett.
that makes me think of one that I can say that I was just gonna say like a really nice set of pruners or a decent set of pruners would
Oh
be
yeah,
a real
good set of
go-to.
pruners.
But
Yeah.
another option, and we can go back to the pruners, Ray. I know I see that I've unlocked a passion in you for good
High
quality,
carbon
good
steel.
steel. Yeah.
Yeah. Real steel.
Last year, I got this from my mom because I had gotten one for myself. We know we don't support trade names or whatever, but I saw this on a tour that Alexis and I went on of flower farmers in North Carolina. They had these on some of their property. That it's called a hose link. It's a retractable hose reel that you pull it and it auto retracts,
Mm-hmm.
and it is legit. They're expensive, but it is a legitimate. Go on.
I was gonna say, that's like, I've been looking for one and I have not found the clutch one from my greenhouse so that like the water comes out of it. Anyway, send me the link to that one as well.
The hose link
I have
link,
something to
if you
add
will.
if we're on this
Yes.
garden hose
Yes,
topic.
we are. Yeah, this is a big, yeah.
Okay. So not only did I get 2 regular, really durable water hoses, right? So because people run over my hoses. But somebody also gifted me last year there were like the fabric kind that
Mhm.
retract themselves
Yeah.
and are lightweight.
The ones that
Those
shrink
things,
up.
yes. I
Yeah.
was kind of skeptical about that at first. No, amazing. So especially if you're like somebody out there and you're like, I can't lug around this heavy water
Mhm.
hose, right? Fantastic option. They get a little
Yeah.
pricey, but totally worth it. Very durable. A great addition if you don't,
So in your setup, are you running like a standard kind of heavier duty thing, and then the last section of it that you're moving around is that, or is it 2 different things?
It was 2 different things for me at the time.
Okay.
I used the lighter weight one when I was still pregnant and right after I had a baby, and it was
Sure.
easier to move around versus, the heavier ones that I needed to reach further flower beds further away. But that's a great option. I actually have already purchased one. I don't think one of my family members listens. They should listen, but, they're getting one for Christmas. So
Wow.
I mean,
Lucky.
water hoses are like highly underrated, and like you said, there's a whole spectrum of quality with those super flexible, super thin,
Yeah.
like there's a whole range of from basic affordability all the way up to super
Yeah.
expensive double lined, and the ones that you that kind of are up there in quality, they're amazing. They really are.
Like,
They have high abrasion resistance and they're super flex. I love them.
it's like I feel like once you find a brand you like, you stick with it. Like, I found a brand I like and they're kind of midway as far as like price
Mm-hmm.
goes and stuff, but they're just light enough and they're lime green where you see them pretty easy and all of
Mm-hmm.
that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only brand that I buy. And so it's just, I don't know. I'm like, don't buy me anything else. I don't want
There was
any
some
other
brand in the past that was kind of brick red, and it was good
Mm-hmm.
quality, and they were kind of thick, but I was always losing them. It was kind of a brick earth red, and they would
Yeah.
disappear. And like I'm
And you're
like,
like,
how did I lose
ooh,
50
just
foot
went
of
over that in
hose?
the mower.
Yeah. So yeah, I love the brand, but it was like the color. It's like why,
This isn't a
why
good
that
fit for me
color?
for watering out in this brick pile.
Yeah, this pile of bricks. In the fall, when the leaves got down, like it would literally just disappear in the maple leaves. I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, but we're on this whole water delivery kick. Apparently, everyone wants gifts that has to do with water.
Oh, I would
So
love like a little for my front bed. See, this is the kind of thing I would love to ask my mother-in-law for because she's a hands-on physical gift person, which I love her for it. I appreciate it. But if I ask her for a drip irrigation or not drip, but like a soaker hose set for like my front garden beds, she
Yeah,
will look at me like I have 4 heads. She'll be like, that's not a Christmas gift. I'm like, no, but for
but it
me it
is.
is.
Mhm.
That's my
Au
thing.
yes.
contraire.
So if you have plant people in your life, don't look at them weird when they want stuff like that. They
Just send them
generally
links, Alexis. send them direct links so there's no confusion.
Another gift that I have gotten the person who's getting the water hose is also getting this year a little tiny auger. Like I've seen them everywhere.
Yes!
I got
The bulb
one
augers?
like 5 years ago and never used it. Well, I planted 75 and I bought 25 more just to make it 100 daffodil bulbs and to plant in my front field to naturalize that area. And I used the auger that goes on a drill. Amazing. Amazing. It probably would have taken me only like 2 hours to plant them, but with children, it took me 4 days. And, but still, it was amazing. And the children even enjoyed planting.
So this is like a big drill bit almost.
Yeah.
But it's for the garden.
Mm-hmm. Well, I look at it as like for farm people, it's a mini auger, right? Like, but that's a good way to put it too, like a really large drill bit.
You use it with a drill is what I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just an earth auger that goes into a standard like hand drill or whatever.
And they have all different sizes of them. Like the one Sean had got me was like specific for bulbs. It said you could use it for different things, but if you search online, you can get them in like packs of 3 of like different sizes, so where you don't even have to like get on the ground, you can just stand up and they're like really long. But
that's cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good shot.
They're good too, even if you like planting a lot of plugs, if you're planting your front beds or something, you can use it for that. You just kind of have to especially for bulbs, because sometimes those augers can get like kind of long and you don't need it to be. So I have I'll put a piece of colored tape or like marker, whatever, how deep I want to go for it, so that I can like physically see it as I'm going down.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are great. You can use big augers to plant peonies too. That's something I have learned.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That's what I bought an auger for.
You're going to need your batteries need to be on your list, Alexis. It sounds like with all those augers, which good thing battery tech has
I have a big
good.
gas auger, but was what I use for peonies.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not messing around. You're not messing around. Yeah.
No, when I plant bulbs, I plant them in trenches because there's so many of them that you just dig a trench.
Way easier.
But I've used a little bulb one at like the extension office, and it was really nice. So great gift.
I think in general, hand tools can be a really good gift, but it's like not everybody uses all the different hand tools. Like not everybody's going to use a chopping hoe like some people might, or not everybody's going to use a leaf rake even in the same way. And so I think the one thing I would say is like if you're thinking about getting that kind of stuff for a gift, making sure in some way that it is like actually a tool that the person will use. And also if you have options of quality, going a little higher on quality, it may be a little bit more money, but it's so well worth it because you're going to end up buying 2 or 3 of that same thing in the same lifespan. And it's just more pleasant to use better tools. And so like if every time that person picks up that tool and they're like, wow, this is awesome, I really like this. And it makes me think of that person that gave me that gift. You're really giving them a gift of hundreds, if not thousands of experiences across the lifetime of that tool, as opposed to just that morning or that day of opening that present. I think that's, but you can also go in the more absurd direction, which is where my dad used to go. My dad would he would get stuff that you wanted and he would get, but he would also he would just choose the most bizarre gifts sometimes, based on a sort of association with the gift that you were with the interest that you were expressing. One year he got us because we were into gardening, he got us gardening gloves, and on the tips of the fingers of the gardening gloves
were like
press on nail kind of things.
Yes,
the claws. And I had not seen these before. I was so caught off guard by it and taken aback that I laughed. I laughed.
They look like a Halloween costume almost.
And they were even green. They were green like the Wicked Witch of the
Black
West.
Claws.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
I've seen those.
I think I may have tried them, but the idea of it is that you use them to kind of drag through the ground to do weeding, to do some cultivation with your fingertips, but you're not getting your actual nails dirty. We tried it a little bit, but we tend to do stuff standing up with a hoe or something like that as opposed to being down in it. But Alexis, if you seem like you've dabbled in the arts.
I've always wanted to try them with like cut flower production. There's certain stages where it's really hard to
Yeah.
do, and the tightness of the spacing and different things like that. It's hard to do all of your cultivation standing up
Yeah,
for just certain things there. And
sure.
so I'm doing a lot of hand weeding certain times of the year for very particular crops. And I've always wondered about those. I just in the winter I'd use my gloves because my hands will get too cold if I
Mm-hmm.
don't use them. But I've always wondered about those when
Well,
you're digging
on
up
the hand
stuff.
I've always
cultivating
wondered.
side, we
Yeah.
always used wire weeders at the farm.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a
Mm-hmm.
little. So that again, these are things that you can Google to find. A different. It's a just a thing you can look up. That's a little hand tool. It's literally a little wire that allows you to in loose soil to do some cultivation. But Ray, you also have not experimented with the way of the claw.
I have not, but I have wanted to just because they look so
Well,
cool
I
and
will
they
see if
look
I can find them. I think they're
intimidating.
probably in our garage.
I mean, and I wondered use case scenarios because I know that there's definitely like Alexis was saying, as far as some weeding scenarios or anywheres where you need to get in and do some fine work or need to take out your aggressions, pretend like you are the
Mm-hmm.
panther. I mean, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's got to be something cool with those because they look super cool. But I have
Mm-hmm.
never talked to anyone, sat down and say, "What do you think about these things?" But I
Yeah,
know
that was a little
exactly
bit of
what
an
you're talking
outside,
about.
like a
Yeah,
little bit of a bizarro.
My dad will do like a similar thing. Like I'll say, okay, these are the exact pruners that I want. Like there's very
yeah.
specific needs that I have. So he'll get me those, but then he'll get me a pair of snips. And it's like the same brand, like really, it is on par, but it's like, I'm not going to use these snips. I have a very particular set of snips that I like to use. And
Yeah,
so
I
they're like my
bet you
backup,
do.
my house snips. They're ones that I let other people use. And so yeah, but like he'll do very similar stuff. He'll get you exactly what you asked for and then something that's like close but not quite and you're like, maybe.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's
Sometimes
kind of
there's magic in
particular,
it though.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of particular, and sometimes I don't know what's gonna be my favorite. You mentioned a garden hoe, I believe it, Brett. Like, I mean, we would fight over who got, like, like, there was a couple of really good hoes when we actually hand chopped out tobacco in days past, like,
Yep.
to get the good hoe. It was a little bit
Hmm.
lighter, and it stayed sharp for a long period of time, but
Yeah.
sometimes you don't know what's gonna stick, Alexis, which kind of
Mhm.
snips fine tip snips is going to be your favorite and
Yeah, I
which is
like
going
a
to
cheap
be
snip. Like my favorites are the
yeah.
cheaper ones and it's
I
just
mean,
the way
you
it
just never know
works.
what I'm going to love. I
Yeah.
just never know, but once I find that, it is mine and I will hide it from you.
Yeah,
I
I'll
And
have
buy
a
so maybe
5 of the
we'll
favorite
same
see.
one.
I
Yeah.
have a favorite trowel that I hide,
Mhm.
and it's
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite, and then I,
absolutely.
like,
Yeah.
freak out when it's gone. Or shovels. I have a
Mhm.
Oh,
shovel
I have favorite
saga
shovels. Yeah.
because my shovels keep disappearing, and my mother-in-law was so nice on my birthday last year, she bought me 2 shovels that both were more of an obnoxious color, and she was like, "These are Jessica's. Quit taking her shovels." And about a week or 2 ago, I went looking for the shovels. They were not there. Where were they? One was in our pig barn and the other one was in my husband's truck.
Oh,
Mm.
So
busted.
even
Mm.
though they were
Not
a
a good
bright
look.
color, they still managed to
We were able to
walk
find them at
away.
least. So
Yes.
that's
After
That
lots of shaming from my children. Very proud of those boys for shaming their father about taking
Dad. Those
shovels
are
from the
how dare
mouse
house.
you?
shuffles.
Well, it reminds me, speaking of, if you're not sure like what to get somebody, but they work with items that need to be sharp, get them a hand sharpener. I
That's a good
use
one.
my
Yes.
snips. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's probably not the best way to sharpen them, but like in a pinch, if I've been
What
like
kind of
cutting through
style are
some,
we talking about here, Alexis? You've
well,
really
okay,
you hit
I
on
know you're
something.
gonna ask. Once a year, I'll use like a
Is it like a tungsten
fancier, I don't know
sharpener or
what it's
something?
called. It's on like you
It's a
change them
stick.
out and yeah, it's on a stick and
It's a, it's a
it's the one my
tungsten
husband
sharpener.
uses,
Yeah.
yeah, for all his stuff.
Oh,
But
I love those.
during the
My favorite.
season, I don't have time to do that. So I have just this little thing. I think it's made for garden snips and you hand hold it and you just kind of drag it across the blade a couple times
Oh, yeah.
and it has like the blades form like a little X and then you drag your
Yeah.
your snips through. And man, it makes such a huge difference when, just to be able to like really quickly run in there if they're getting dull. And do that. And that's like a pretty inexpensive, super useful gift if you've got somebody who, uses pruners or something like that a lot. I know that there's sharpeners also. I would love to have sharpener for like my hose and some of those like bigger items that I use, which Brett, you have one, right? Do you have something that you sharpen your?
I have a lot of different sharpening. I've sort of got
Of course you do. Why
yeah.
am I
Flint
shocked?
rocks, tungsten
Well,
stones, V
But like a
sharpeners.
file, don't you usually use some sort of like big
I
file
use
for
a file
those?
to keep my larger stuff. It's just
Yeah, like shovels
a
and that kind of stuff.
very simple language alert. It's called a bastard file is the
Oh
type of
yeah,
file that it is.
yeah,
And I just use that because you don't you don't need a shovel to be as sharp as a chef's knife.
Right.
Just a little bit
yeah.
of honing on that will make your job a lot easier. But I think one of the things that you're talking about, Alexis, is like practically you can have something real crazy and expensive or whatever. But I think that those little tools where you can get a quick edge on something and go
Mhm.
and get back out,
Hmm.
that's like the name of the game. And they're not crazy expensive. I would guess it's some sort of like a ceramic sharpener that you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's similar.
Um,
This one is like the
There's
way it's formatted is meant for snips and stuff because it's kind of got like a
yeah,
handhold thing.
mhm.
But yeah, it's similar to something you would find in a kitchen as far as the
like a
setup goes.
ceramic combo with
Hmm.
Yeah,
tungsten.
there's the little
That's the
things
ones I
that you're
really
running
like.
across are made of ceramic, or
Yeah,
some of
Yeah.
them are made
Oh
of
yeah, yeah,
other
yeah,
things
yeah,
too.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and that is really really helpful. And once you start sharpening stuff, you're like, oh, okay, this does make my life a lot easier. That I don't have to cut things twice because it just folds it over. It actually cuts it, or
And that
that
is one
Hmm.
of the most frustrating things in gardening is when you go to cut something and it just kind of
just
flops. I'm
folds
like,
the stem or whatever.
what? Yeah, that's at the point where I lay them down and have to take a deep breath. I'm like, I cannot have that.
This is
I
a
do,
nice
do
reminder
not like it.
as I have a wreath class coming up that I'm like, oh yeah, something I always forget to do every year. Need to sharpen those pruners before everybody
Yeah.
uses them.
That's where I use were like bypass pruners, the little sharpener you're talking about, the stick sharpener, the it's just a piece of tungsten
Yeah.
welded on the steel. That's what I keep. And in fact, I have a little holder for it. And during wreath
Hmm.
classes, and I go around sharpening everyone's,
Ah.
bypass pruners when we're doing wreaths. But yeah, you can put a razor's edge on those things if they're already in decent shape.
Or like
Um,
some oil, some like cleaning oil
yeah,
and stuff. Again, it's like winter time. That's when I do like clean
yeah,
all of my stuff and oil all my leather stuff and all that jazz. So like some
yeah.
stuff like that is a big and it was is a sometimes a handy reminder that they should be doing that with their their tools.
Maybe
Yeah,
they should.
I think
Speaking of wreath of work, oh, go ahead, Brett.
oh, I was gonna just comment on the plant and the wreath and swag kind of stuff. That like if you are going to somebody's party and you normally would bring a bottle of wine or you'd bring some other kind of host gift, plant people might appreciate a fresh, real swag or wreath or something
Or
that
an
they can hang up,
amaryllis.
or an
Yeah,
amaryllis
yeah.
Mm.
this time of year, or a Christmas cactus, or something like that. It's just another option if you're looking for that kind of thing of a you know
Yeah.
here's this something for the host. What were you going to say about wreaths, Ray?
Oh, I was just gonna say, nothing will invoke rage more than watching your freshly sharpened, someone trying to cut wire with your freshly
Right.
sharpened, yeah, which happens every year. I mean, I
Every
get
year.
it. And someone came and borrowed. They wanted a box of pruners, and I didn't think to question them. They were not making wreaths; they were doing holiday crafts. And I went in there, and they were like, "These wire cutters don't work very well." And I was like, "Oh no!" But yeah, yeah, every tool has its own purpose, folks. But I love the idea, Brett, of you that you just threw out of plants as holiday gifts. We did a little kind of an office activity where we were doing Ziva, some paper whites, narcissus. We kind of made that, and then everybody was given those as gifts because it's that time of year. Those work fairly well. I had some left over from programming, so we kind of repurposed those, and it was just and those turned out to be pretty popular with apparently with folks's families there at the office. So yeah, the gift of
Oh.
plant. Sometimes I overlook that. And I mean, Alexis, I know you do a lot of amaryllis and stuff, and I think those are one of the best. I mean, gifts you can give, and it just brightens up the holidays so much to add that pop of color where you may not have as much going on this time of year. So cool.
Easier than poinsettias, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I enjoy more than poinsettias. There, I said it. I think the one of the things I didn't realize was we talked about this before, I think, but Christmas cactus has this really. It seems to have this really interesting piece in a lot of people's family history. Like it's one of those. There's lots of plants where people are like, "Oh, this is my grandmother's, and it came from a cutting or whatever from blah blah blah." But I've just heard of a lot of people who have a Christmas cactus that's been in the family for a long time, or that you sort of have taken cuttings off of, and this is a cutting from the whatever. And I really like the idea of potentially being the one who gives the gift that starts that, or giving cuttings of plants as kind of like this isn't like a big present that's really expensive, but it's something that has meaning. It has this, human and plant story intertwined together. I think, and not everybody's got money to spend, and that's something you can do without much money at all. Just a handful of soils, a pot, and some cuttings. Could be kind of a cool way of sharing.
And then if they kill it, you can shame them for it forever. So,
That's right. And family is forever.
Bringing back that family shame that,
right.
we all know and love.
You have to also, like, if I'm going to give you this, are you actually going to take care of it? Right?
Scrutiny
like, there's
comes with
certain
the
family
gift.
members I will give a piece to. Others, I'm just like,
That's true.
I don't
just
know.
give them a piece of your mind.
Well,
I
but
think that's one
we're
where you have
talking
to
about
answer
giving
that.
a gift to a plant person.
Yeah,
so maybe
right,
if you are not a plant person, but your grandma has this really cool Christmas cactus. Like, I would love to have cuttings of your grandma's Christmas cactus, and I'll give a cutting to your kids one day if you want me to. I'll be the keeper of the Christmas cactus.
But PSA for plant people, for any other people, don't try to gift other people into your interest, because you're setting both of yourselves up for. Here's the thing: at the holiday gathering, throw out some feelers. Be like, you ever dabble in any plants at all? And if they're like,
I don't know, Brad, that seems kind of shady.
I hear the legislation's changing fast in Kentucky, and I just wanted to know if you guys.
You're gonna have to dive a little bit deeper
what
into
kind of
this
plants
topic.
are you into?
Amaryllis, perchance?
Do you buy a lot of grow lights online?
Right?
Or
depends on what cousin you're talking to. What
Amaryllis,
you're gonna get.
Amaryllis Express. You guys ever heard of that?
Yes.
But I think sometimes we that would be a situation where you're going to end up giving something to somebody, and then they're like, I don't really know or like this.
Well, and that's tough on non-plant people, right? Because not everybody loves plants, and it's wintertime, and there's humidity and light issues, and sometimes that can be a source. I've literally given plants to people, family, and they're like, no offense, but this is a lot of pressure. Like they were up front. They were like, this is a lot of pressure. We know this is a family heirloom plant or whatever. I'm like, no. I just got this at Walmart and wanted to share this with you or whatever. I got a local garden center. Not a big deal, but some people that puts an undue amount of stress on them. So, I mean, you got to find out. I'm with Brett. You got to kind of read the room a little bit on plants. So, yeah.
Well, and it's something during the course of the year, if you need to prune back something or take something, and you can just sort of drop those cuttings and see if they take, and kind of get them started. Then it becomes a gift you can give later, rather than just here's a loose cutting in some loose potting mix. Hopefully it takes, and good luck. If it didn't, then you killed it.
Yeah, then it's you. You've ended the line of that lineage.
And now it's dead. Thanks.
Now it's dead.
You've ended the line of the house of sawtooth, maple or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
What about
You've ended
seeds?
this line?
You guys ever done seeds?
We have some, yeah.
Not that I received some last year and then did my own little science experiment with them. It was one of those calendar. Alexis knows, she's laughing. One of those, it's like, here's your calendar through the year, plant it each month and get beautiful blooms. And on the box, it had pictures of dahlias and other things. So I planted them all at once in individual pots just to see what happens. And at the end of the summer, I had 2 celotias, very sad celotias.
Yeah.
So this was like a kit that someone bought that was aimed in this
And so,
direction.
and I guess maybe I say that with a word of caution, like if you're not a plant person and you're buying for a plant person, you
Mhm.
know, I mean, it was still fun to see what happened because I was like, I don't think I'm going to get dahlias to grow from these
Yeah.
little paper. They were like the compostable paper seeds, like the, what do we
Mhm.
call those seed things?
Biodegradable.
Yeah. But
Little peat
in the end,
pods.
I got 2 tiny, very sad celosia that came out of 12 individual card plantings.
That was a
So,
dwarf celosia variety. Hopefully you saved the seed.
Well,
yeah.
growing up, we would give apple varieties. I mean, our family goes back many generations with apples and orchards and things. But it started with my dad. But we would give like special varieties, like old Ben Davis apples or Arkansas Black, or even some lesser known varieties from the Carolinas or wherever. But we would graft up trees, pre-root them, and then say, "Hey, we're going to give you this, but we can hold it." Now we would do that in year, but that goes way
Aw,
back to when I was
That's
That is
really
younger.
that's so
cool.
so cool,
cool.
Ray.
That's so
But
cool.
we gave grafted trees because everybody loved, everybody back in the day had seems like semi-dwarf trees around. So Dad would just graft up some extra, make sure that the graft was going to take and pre-root those in a container that was appropriate to hold them through, overwinter them. But yeah, that's a cool thing that I remember,
I
them doing.
knew that Ray was going to bust out
Yeah.
something folksy and
Yeah.
cool. Golly, that is
But
so cool.
we've all grafted, but I kind of miss that that stuff because with apple varieties, it's sort of you tap into the kind of the whole family tradition thing, and some people are
Yeah,
like, "Well, what is this? I don't know what this is," and they'll give it a name. I don't know if it's a named variety or they'll call it an Emily Rose apple or whatever their family calls that apple. But Dad was very good at collecting like apple varieties and trying to sort through names and stuff in years past. But that was sort of a holiday thing that we would give. And
that is so
once again, you
cool.
have to know the person that you're giving that to, and you have to know that they have enough space. But Dad was always really good about that, knowing who would that would be a good gift for. So yeah,
I always
kind of
thought
along those lines.
along that same lines. I always thought that it would be cool to, had the previous episode about seed saving, to do some
Hmm.
seed saving and then give some of the seeds that you saved as a gift.
Yeah,
Because it in the same way with like canning. So there's people who will give gifts of like jam or jelly or
Mhm.
salsa or whatever, and
incredible gifts. Yeah,
it's
sorghum.
it's this thing where you're giving essentially you're giving your time to them,
Mm-hmm.
this time that you in care that you've spent, which is it's a different thing from some of the other things that we give, and not that
Mhm.
any of those are bad. I like those too,
It's a truly
but
unique
it's
product too. Yeah, one of a
yeah, like
kind.
as you get older, I think you appreciate that a little bit more, as you have less and less time to share and give. And I also like the idea of, Ray, what you're talking about, of like a gift of a perennial that you could then theoretically track back to a particular time, that we
Yeah.
planted that in Christmas of,
Mm-hmm.
82 or whatever. And doing that same thing, like to mark occasions in people's lives with a perennial or a tree or something. So like the people that I work with, I don't really like them at all, and they gave me witch hazel. It was, I guess, probably the 1 year anniversary of when my dad had died, and it's planted out front of our house, and it's like this really positive, lasting, enduring thing. And I think that idea of gift giving things that, like I was saying with the tool, where you handle it 100 times,
Mm-hmm.
cool, and then it's like every time I think of that, or I see that every day, it's a cool mechanism for, I don't know, that human shared meaning thing.
It's the culture of Hort
It's the
culture.
core.
So yeah.
You could say that.
Kind of ties in. It ties in. I love all of it, except especially when it's got the, you're really giving them memories as much as anything else. Unless it's a garden hose, and then it's just super useful. But
Hmm.
Sometimes it's
yes,
just a memory of the beautiful flowers I watered with this hose that I got from somebody. So,
And if
there
they
you
give you a
go.
nice
yeah.
hose, then you're gonna you'll be like, wow, I've had that hose for multiple years now. What
Man,
a
that's
great
a
All
gift
of my
that was.
houseplants look so great because I have this really cool pump to use
To
for
drive around,
watering
to
them, to drive
drive
around.
around my house
55
and
gallon
water stuff.
drum,
You can make noises as
self-propelled.
you wheel it
Just like
around.
steampunk, like
It's got its own golf cart. Yeah, so there's big pistons
You
moving
put
up
a
and
little
down.
speaker on top of it and just
Mad
like play all the
Max.
Yes.
music for my plants while I water them. music in your shower kind of
I
thing.
mean, this started off simple, but it's not ending simple. Not at all. Not at all. I'm all about it. It's a
Well,
hot
on
tub
that
garden.
note, we give you lots of options for the plant lovers in your life, or for you particularly who want something, or if you're not sure what to tell somebody to buy for you because you buy everything for yourself because you need it. Here's some new ideas of things we think you might need or enjoy having. So, send those to the moms in your life who are asking for your plant list. I now have something I can send, so that makes me happy. But we hope you got something out of this, got some cool ideas, and we thank you for joining us. Hope you have a happy holiday on that note, if we don't mention it again between now and then. But we are so happy you're here with us today. Make sure you check us out on social media at Hort Culture Podcast. Shoot us an email if you've got any questions. If you're like, hey, what was that weird file called that Brett did, and you don't want to listen to the entire episode, you can always shoot us an email and we'll help you get you where you need to go on that. Oh, excuse me. But anyways, on that note, hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here with us. Have a great one.